Hi, I'm Mike Allen, and this is Group Four's mortgage project for Finance 4170. The property we chose is located in Arlington, Texas. The current listing price is $300,000, and it's currently in the Dallas-Fort Worth MSA. It's located in the fourth largest MSA in the United States with a population of around 7.5 million. We chose this house because we could easily see ourselves investing in it after college. It's got 4 beds and 3.5 baths, so it's a great. It would be a great place for like a couple people to start to move into. 4,127 square feet, which is like plenty of space for a smaller like group of guys. And it was built in 1968, and that's kind of why I chose this picture that's in the slide, is to show that it's like the interior is slightly dated. So after we like are done living there and we're ready to move out and like live on our own with a quick renovation, this could become a fantastic rental property. And that's one of the biggest reasons we chose this, is because it's affordable, and on top of it, it would be a great investment.
So using our listing price, we had to figure out what our down payment would be and the amount of time it would take to save that. So we multiplied the 300,000 by a rough estimate of 20% on a usual down payment for a home, which was $60,000. And then we found that our amount borrowed had to be 240,000. So the years needed to save 60,000 would be roughly 3.5 years. And that's assuming a 2.5% of the mortgage per month payment. So you need to save roughly $1,500 each month. And that's assuming a $75,000 salary before tax.
Jack, you're on mute.
Thank you. In terms of the conforming loan limits, this is an act set in place by the Housing Economic and Recovery Act. It's an index based on the shift in housing prices each year. So the county that this house resides in is called Tarrant County in Texas, and it has a maximum loan limit of $548,000 or $548,250. And our property's loan amount is $240,000. So it's well within the range of the loan limit. So we are perfectly fine.
So for our mortgage assumptions, our group contacted a mortgage banker based out of Atlanta, named Lucky Miller. The first thing he told us, with a FICO score of 640, that's the lowest FICO score that they would loan us this amount. So the first thing he told me is get with a credit helping representative and ask if our purchase plan is going to be after college in like an 8-month window. He would highly recommend us to figure out how to raise that FICO score, because he said that the percentage he gave us, 3.525, is very much changed when we have the higher FICO scores. If you can tell below, saving $100 a month about just by having a FICO score that is actually above, and then a very, very good FICO score even above that, even lowers it more. So as our FICO score increases, we have better credit, so the interest rate for the loan decreases. And you can go to the next slide. So when changing this into a 30-year, our APR was 2.764 and our monthly payment was $981. Going through the additional fees and costs that with Mr. Miller talking through it. So we took the property tax. We're assuming it's going to be $237.50 a month, as Katy, Texas, which is a subdivision of Arlington. Their tax map had tax rates at 48 cents per $100. So we multiplied that out, 48 cents, or we did 300,000 divided by $100 and multiplied that by 48, divide that by 12. That's how we got our property tax assumption. For home insurance, we took the median price per year of home insurance in that area and divided that out by 12 for our monthly payments. And Mr. Miller also gave us, he said, a closing cost in that area he would estimate to be around 3.5% on our loan. So the closing cost for us would probably be around $10,500. So after all this, I mean, our total payments on our property, using the calculator that he provided, he said that our total payments would be around $353,000, $361. And just going back to the first part, he very much recommended us to raise the credit score from 640. So using that base assumption that we were given to do the project, I would like to see if we actually went through and bought this property in real life, our credit score to look somewhere near that 740, 799 score.
So for the mortgage rate trends, interest rates at the start of the pandemic were very low as the economy had shifted into a downward spiral. As we approached the summer of 2020, rates began to rise slightly, but we're still in the low 3% range. Then in December of 2020, our country saw interest rates hitting an all-time high due to all-time low due to investors placing their money into secure U.S. Treasury bonds. And then today, the national interest rate is around 3.5%. And 1 month ago, the rate was about half a point lower, so about 3%. And then having spoken with multiple brokers, they believe that with the pandemic restrictions easing up and the housing market doing well, the interest rates will continue to rise steadily in the near future.
And then looking at the amortization schedule, as Colton alluded to before, we took the FICO score in between 740 and 799. And with that, we took the interest rate of 2.7%. So when I put it into the amortization schedule, it comes out to a monthly rate of 0.23% on our $240,000 loan over a 30-year period, which would be 360 months. And as you can see below, I'll take you through the table. Starting on the left side, that's your period per month. Our monthly payment comes out to $981.56. Of that, the interest payments over time decrease, and on the other side, the principal payments increase. And so our mortgage balance, as you see on the right side of the table, starts at our original balance of $240,000, and then eventually goes down to zero. On the screenshot I have over here, I only have the first 20 months because it's clearly a big table, but you can see the general trend in the amortization schedule. Our balance decreases over time as we pay off that loan. And so also an interesting part about this, and Mike alluded to this in the property overview, but when talking about buying versus renting this property, we felt that, in this statistical area in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, we can achieve around $1,000 a month in rental rates if we decided to rent out a room or two. And that basically covers our monthly payment on the loan. So if we chose to, own the house, pay off this mortgage and rent it out to a tenant, we could pretty much cover our monthly loan costs, which would be a great thing. And that's why we would choose to own it versus rent it.
So some of our key takeaways that we learned from this project are we gained a hands-on experience from talking with the local mortgage broker in Atlanta. And we also got a better understanding of the local markets and shopping for certain properties and gaining access to the financing and what kind of money we would need to actually buy this property. And then third, we gained knowledge on developing a plan for how we should leverage the property and actually use it as an investment in order to make money in the future.